Unit 3, the 24th video of Unit 3, Jacksonian democracy, even though we're not really talking about Jacksonian democracy, but I gotta title these videos something. Be able to explain the Electoral College, Gibbons v. Ogden. Maybe you can debate or defend government involvement. Maybe somehow you can defend Ogden. Then we'll talk about nullification. Access to voting expands. Poor white men are able to vote for the first time. They're just a common man. So before we had a government that was representative or reflective of rich elite landowners, and so you had leaders that were chosen by those people, and they made decisions based on what those people want. Now you have the poor white man voting, and so you're going to have different leaders, and leaders that respond to different people. The rules, the laws, everything is going to slowly change. When you expand a democracy, it's going to make decisions based on that expanded democracy. Does that make sense? He's just a common man. Electoral College, 2012. We'll look at that. So Electoral College is how we elect the president. I don't want to hear your popular vote stuff. I'm not going to get into that argument today. 530 points are needed to win, or 530 electoral votes, but we'll call them electoral points to make it easy to understand. 270 is one more than halfway. That's a majority. So if you get 270 points, you've got the majority. You are president of the United States. And Barack Obama got 332. That's a lot of electoral points. And Mitt Romney got 206. That's not a lot of electoral points, and he did not get to become president. So how does this system work? It is a winner-take-all system based on states. It is a winner-take-all in the states, and then you add up all those points. It's a game, it's a strategy, it's complex, but you need a complex system for electing the president when you have a complex, diverse nation. If we were not a complex nation, if we were not a diverse nation, then yes, a simple popular vote like you have in a kindergarten class to vote whether you're going to have chocolate milk or white milk, then maybe it would work. But life is a little more complicated, so you need the Electoral College. So here's how it works. Montana, one person in Montana votes for Barack Obama. 699,999 people vote for Mitt Romney. So, he should get a lot more. Well, he gets the 3 points available, and Barack Obama gets 0 points available. Let's look at California. 10,000,001 vote for Barack Obama. 10 million vote for Mitt Romney. Obama wins by just 1. So he gets like half. No. All 55. It is a winner-take-all system. This is how the system works. It's a state-by-state. Winner-take-all, a popular vote by the state, and then you add up all the states. Whoever gets the most points, or the majority. It's not the most. It's you've got to get the majority. Once you get the majority, 270 points, you get to become president. If we were to add up all these votes, just to play around, technically, Mitt Romney got more votes, so he should have more points. But we don't have a popular vote. We don't have that type of system. It's a state-by-state, winner-take-all electoral point system. You're saying, like, how did he get more? I added the 10 million and the 609,000. I added the 10 million and the 1. And so technically, he got more votes. But getting more votes does not matter. That is too simplistic. That is not the best system for a complex, diverse nation. I will say that again. The Electoral College works because we are a complex, diverse nation. Popular vote does not work in that situation. We'll argue about that another day. Electoral College, 1824. We can look here and see that no one got, that's 270. Well, they don't have 270 then because there were only 261 points available because there were fewer states. So 261 was the max. That means 132 is going to be the majority. But no one got 132 electoral points. No one got a majority. Andrew Jackson got a plurality, meaning he got the most votes, but 57% of the country said, I don't want that crazy guy. So yeah, he would have got the most votes, but again, this is not a kindergarten class deciding what we're going to have for lunch. We got the most. We get to have chocolate milk. It's a little more complicated than that. Yeah, you got the most, but everybody else said no. You got more votes than anybody else, but these guys want white milk. These guys want lemonade. These guys want 2% whole milk. Yeah, you got the most, but most people don't want you. Electoral College. So the Electoral College doesn't get enough points. It will go to Congress, and they'll have to decide. And John Quincy Adams is your president of the United States. How? He only got 31% of the popular vote. He got 84 points. How's he president? Henry Clay showing up, messing everything up always. Corrupt bargain. Henry Clay says, look, I'm out of it. I only got 37 points. 13% of the vote, but I can help you get elected president. And he does. He says, just give me a job in your administration. And also, let's build some roads and canals. Of course, he wants to build some roads and canals. His name's Hank Clay. He is the man that builds the roads and canals. Switching gears, talking about a monopoly to set up talking about the court case Gibbons v. Ogden. What is a monopoly? A monopoly, or a trust, same thing, is when you own all of one good. You control all of one product. And when you control all of one product, you then can control price. You can control quality too. This hurts consumers. Consumers don't have choice. Consumers have to pay the price that you want. When you own all of a good, let's give you an example, a theoretical. You're in the mall. Oh, look at all these options. All these different restaurants competing against each other. Pizza Hut, Subway. What's a mall again? Some of you probably watching this, you're like, what's a mall? Do those still exist? Yeah, I don't know anymore. But anyway, that's the theory. The first theoretical situation is there's this thing called malls. Second thing, in this thing called malls, there are restaurants competing against each other. Competing based on price. Subway, Pizza Hut, maybe they lower prices to lure you in. Maybe they offer better ingredients. Either way, in this scenario, there is no choice. It's a monopoly. Subway has a monopoly on food service in the mall. If you want food, you got to go to Subway. There are no other choices. You have one option. And when you have one option, this monopoly, before, when there was competition against Pizza Hut and there was competition against ice cream, they had to lower the prices to lure you in. They had to offer a bunch of different sandwiches to lure you in. But now that there's no competition and they have a monopoly, you pay their price. There is no competition. Restaurants battling each other by lowering the prices. Restaurants offering different items by lowering the prices. No, today and forever now, because of the monopoly, it's chicken, bacon, ranch only. We don't have to offer a wide variety of sandwich choices to lure you in because you have no other option. And we don't have to lower our prices. Oh, you don't want to pay $6? Then starve. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, you wanted a bologna sandwich. Who wants a bologna sandwich? I guess you wanted a bologna. Too bad, no bologna. It's chicken, bacon, ranch. And you'll love it. And if it's got a rat on it, who cares? You got no other options. That's how monopolies work. The government does not like monopolies. The government wants people to compete. Well, why does the government? Because the government is the people. We, the people. And the people want options. We want choices. We want lower prices. We want quality. That only happens when you have competition. So we got to stop monopolies. And one of the ways the government can do that is help businesses out. Help businesses that are struggling. Help them get off the ground so they compete against each other. And when the businesses compete, it lower prices and it offers quality. Also, they can just straight up shut down a monopoly. So let's get rid of the monopoly. Let's return to the good old times where we got this sandwich shop. You got the Tripe Sandwich Shop by Baxter. And then you've got Eisenberg's. And they're all competing against each other to lure you in as the customer. They want you to come to their restaurant. And so they lower prices. They offer a wide variety of sandwiches. BLT's back, Black Forest ham, cold cut combo, egg and cheese, omelet, veggie, delight, spicy Italian, meatball marinara. We the people want meatball marinara. This happens when the government gets involved in the economy. If the government doesn't get involved in the economy, you have monopolies, which eliminate competition, which raise prices. Now, there's an argument that can be made that you can have competition without government involvement, but this is one example. Let's defend the government a little bit here. We're going to need that government now. Gibbons versus Ogden. Ogden is granted a monopoly of the New York waterways. If you want to ship your goods into New York, the state of New York has given him a monopoly. Well, they call it a permit. Well, we just gave him a permit saying he can control the waterways. You gave him a monopoly of the New York waterways. The New York waterways, if you want to ship goods in or out, you have to talk to Ogden. Well, Ogden charges too much. Doesn't matter. It's his waterway. Well, Ogden's slow. Isn't there another way? Too bad. It's his own waterway. The New York government gave him a monopoly. Just like Subway was the only place in the mall. You had to pay their price, and you only got to get the sandwiches they want. I wanted bologna. Well, this really happened. This was Ogden had this. So he will be sued by Gibbons, who used to work with him. Now, Gibbons is like, this is ridiculous. Ogden takes 3 days. If you let me start shipping stuff, I can get it there faster, and I can get it there at a lower price. And maybe some other ships can get in. We got a bunch of different shipping companies competing, which will lower prices for consumers and will make it faster for consumers. New York gave me the exclusive right to these waterways, says Ogden. These here waterways are mine. Well, New York can't do that. It is an interstate waterway, says Gibbons. It's an interstate waterway. And since it's interstate, it's up to the U.S. government to make that law. So it goes to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court looks at it and says, yeah, that's right. This is interstate commerce, meaning between states. And that power, according to the Constitution, is reserved for Congress, and it's in the Commerce Clause. The Commerce Clause of the Constitution says when it comes to interstate business, only those laws can be made by the Constitution. So look, let's call them out on it. Supreme Court knows the Constitution, though. The Commerce Clause refers to Article 1, Section 8. It's always Article 1, Section 8. Any trivia question, what part of the Article 1, Section 8? Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3 of the U.S. Constitution says the power to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among several states is for Congress. So these waterways, all the laws dealing with the New York waterways, those laws have to be made by Congress. It's their power. The Constitution gave that power to Congress, not the individual states. Therefore, interstate navigation fell under the federal government. New York could not interfere. This is not New York's power. They cannot give these permits. And so, boom, Ogden's permit is invalid. It's thrown away. He no longer has a monopoly. Anyone can ship goods in and out. This is government involvement in the economy. Government getting involved in business decisions, also reviewing the Constitution to help out the people. Now, they didn't do this like we want to help the people. The Supreme Court did this because this was the law. But it did help the people. All right, talking about the division of North and South. Tariffs again. The tariff of 1828. The tariff protects Northern industry. The tariff takes that tax money and then builds roads for the North, and the South gets nothing. The tariff of abominations. I thought this was the tariff of 1828. Yeah, if you lived in the North, but if you lived in the South, it was the tariff of abominations. They're not playing around anymore. How do tariffs work? Oh my goodness, you should know by now. So we know that these tariffs affect different parts of the country, in the North and in the South. $5. So they make shoes in England, they ship them in, we buy them. $5. Wrong. That $5 shoe slapped with a tariff, which is a tax on an imported good. That tax will then pay for roads. Increases the price to $7.50. So the South used to be able to buy shoes for $5. Now the price of shoes and basically everything they want to buy, everything becomes more expensive in the South and in the North. But in the North, they're paying more, but it's helping the industry. In Ohio, they're paying more, but they're getting roads. In the South, they're paying more and getting nothing. Or they can ship their goods in from the North. And again, they just have to pay more. Basically, the South is paying more and getting nothing for it. They are subsidizing the North. The North has no problem because their industry is getting created because of this. They're getting roads because of this. The South is paying, basically just giving money to the North. Here you go. They are being robbed. This is simply all this is. These tariffs, since the beginning of this class, the tariffs in the eyes of the South, it's theft. It's pure theft. You're taking money from me and giving it to them. At least have the decency to stick the gun in my face and say, I'm robbing you. At least have the respect to say, I'm going to steal from you. No, that's not the North. No, we're not stealing from you. It's just a tariff. It's just a tariff. It's just a tax. We're not really robbing. You're just taking money from me and giving it to someone else. Last time I checked, when you take my money and give it to somebody else, that's theft. Oh, but it's providing services for someone else. You're giving me nothing for it. But it's worse than that. Because here's the choice. The South's like, well, we can't pay for these shoes. They're too expensive. We can't pay from these foreign goods. Well, if you don't pay for our foreign goods, we're not going to pay for your foreign goods. So England tells the South, if you're not going to buy our shoes, look, we have nothing to do with the tariff. If you don't buy our shoes, we're not going to buy your cotton. So South's paying higher taxes. All their money's going to the North to build their roads, to protect their economy. And now England won't buy their stuff either. So their economy is just going down the drain. Awesome. Tariff of abominations, according to the South. Now, in the North, different perspective of this tariff because it helps them. Foreign goods are made more expensive. This has people buying American. And when you buy American, it helps out the industry in the North. Yeah! Tariff of 1828. Tariff of abomination, according to the South, because foreign goods are more expensive now. Yes, people are buying more U.S. goods, but those goods aren't made in the South. European countries are going to retaliate because people are buying from U.S. and they're not buying from Europe. The economy of the South suffers because we don't gain. We're not making any of the goods in the South. And they're not buying our stuff anymore. So the South loses. The South doesn't grow industry. They have nothing to protect. And no one's buying their stuff anymore. So now they're like, all right, we'll have to buy the expensive foreign goods just to get them to buy our foreign goods. They agree. We will buy the expensive European manufactured goods just to have us. Look, the South is giving money to the North, they're giving money to the Northwest. Oh, here's some money for you, Europe. They're basically just paying for everyone. Yes, it's an abomination. Like, just take their money. Just steal from them. So now the South's like, look, we can't do this forever. Nullify. We are going to nullify it. And here's a bunch of different ways to say nullify it. Nullification. They say, look, We don't care. The North is going to say, oh, the Constitution, federal law, that's number one. You can't go above it. The South says, no, the tariff of 1828, void. We're not going to follow anymore. Nullification. We are not listening to your laws. Like, you can't do that. The Constitution says it's supreme and it's the federal government. And the federal government says there's a tariff, then everyone's got to pay it. That's the rules. It's the United States. And if the United States law says it, then all the states have to follow it. At least that's what they said in the North. The South says, no, tariff of 1828, we're not going to pay it. And you can't make me. We're not paying your tax. Just not going to do it. Not going to do it. Come make me. Like I said before, put the gun to my head and make me pay it, which they will do in the next video. But it's based on John C. Calhoun and Thomas Jefferson, the compact theory of the Constitution, which is the Constitution was a union of states. The states got together. They agreed on the Constitution. It's about states. It's not about a federal government bossing people around, a federal government making laws that steals from one part of the country and gives to another. It's about states. And if there's a law the states don't like the nullification crisis, or like we had with the Alien and Sedation Acts with the Kentucky Resolves, if the federal government is overstepping and doing things that are abusive, then the states can say, no, this is not fair. This is not right. You're simply stealing from me. So this is going to be a mess, and we're going to have a civil war eventually, so that's not good.